everybody, I am Liz, and today I am doing the Meh book tag. This was created by Melissa from the Bookish Babbler several months ago, back when I was in my booktube hiatus, and I still really want to do this tag, so I'm here today to start off with this Meh book tag, with the first question asking, what is your Meh book rating? And for that, it is typically 2.5 or 3 stars on Goodreads. It just kind of depends upon how much I enjoyed some of the elements inside the story and just how average it just felt to me. The second question is a book series that started meh but ended really good. And that selection for me is Fallen by Lauren Kate. This is an angel, kind of fallen angel series where the main character, Luce, finds out that there is this mysterious past and reincarnations with her life. And the first book was okay. The second book kind of irked my nerves. The third book I really enjoyed, and the last fourth book in this series I also really enjoyed. And I enjoyed a lot of the kind of biblical elements with these fallen angels and everything like that. It was very interesting, especially as Luce kind of goes into her past to try to figure out this mystery behind her reincarnated lives. So I definitely enjoyed the book further on. We had to get to book 3 to get there. The third question is a book series that started out good but just ended up being meh over time and over the books. And for that was the Bluebloods series by Melissa de la Cruz. I really enjoyed the first books in this series. It has these kind of vampire-esque elements and this higher society of vampires and everything like that. It was very interesting and fascinating kind of diving into this society that Melissa de la Cruz started, but the plot got really kind of weird and biblical and strange as the books went on, and I ended up actually forgetting the last like 2 or 3 books in the series. I know I read them, but I honestly can't tell you what they were about at all. The fourth question is an overhyped author that you think was just meh. So somebody that really kind of fits that is some of your guys' favorite. Like, these books are your favorites. And that sadly is Maggie Stiefvater. This is the only author that I feel is meh that I've read more than just one book or one series of hers, and I haven't really quite enjoyed her stories, and it's very disappointing and very sad to me. I started off with her books by reading the werewolf story. I can't remember its exact title, but I kind of liked it, but I also thought it was just meh as the series went on. And then I tried reading The Raven Boys, and I just didn't really like it, at least the first half of the book. The second half of the book was better, but I struggled a lot reading that. And my friend gave me the Scorpion Races. I don't know if I'm gonna read it or if I'm gonna ship it out. So 5 is a book that other people think is meh, but I love. And that I went on to Goodreads to just kind of see what books I rated at either a 4 or 5 stars that had a fairly low or average or meh rating on Goodreads. And that ended up being The Leftovers by Tom Perrotta. It is a interesting story kind of about the rapture. So a quarter, I guess, of the planet or something along those lines just up and disappeared. Nobody knows what happened to them, and so they're just kind of living out society the best way that they could because they were left behind. And I loved that book so much, but it doesn't have a huge high rating on Goodreads. I think it was just like a 3.4 or lower, so doesn't really reflect how I feel about the story. The sixth question is a book that was just so meh that you forgot you had read it or you forgot the plot, and that is Evermore by Alison Noel. I forgot I read this completely. I thought I did, but I wasn't sure, and so I actually picked it up and started reading it again, and it didn't click until I had already reread 3/4 of it. And the seventh question is a character that is so meh that they could be completely replaced in this story. And this one might be controversial again, but I picked Lucian in the Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J. Maas. I don't feel like he really contributes much to the story at all, and like he might have been somewhat important in the first book, but further on he's just, his importance of the story and everything could have easily been handed off to another character. Then the last question, question 8, is a book cover that is just meh. It's an amazing story, a book you love, but you just don't really like the cover, and that is Uprooted by Naomi Novik. I am not a huge fan of the paperback cover of this story. It's just not exactly my favorite. I would much prefer that mint beautiful cover that I have seen some booktubers have, but the problem is it is impossible for me to get my hands on it. So I'm stuck with the paperback cover. And I mean, it's not terrible, that's why it's not ugly or anything like that. It's still really nice. It's just not my favorite type of a cover. So there you have the meh book tag. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all of your support. I hope you leave me a comment down below to tell me whether you agree with my answers, whether you disagree, or whether you have your own in the comments down below. I hope to see you guys next time. I love you. Bye!